My name is Sania Panzi, and during my master's thesis, I worked on this particular topic that is about privatization of state-owned enterprises, a particular case study of Pakistan Railway, in which I analyzed a deep dive analysis of the future prospects related to railway and its privatizations. So, before diving into the topic, let me briefly explain few terminologies which I'm going to use in my thesis. So what are SOEs? What are public sectors? How we identify those public sector entities? Those are mostly owned by governments, and governments are the mostly or majorly shareholder in those entities. These SOEs are performing or delivering their services in the form of like education, health, energy, transportations, and many others. So the broad classification of SOEs are, we broadly classify SOEs into two groups or categories. Those are commercial and non-commercial SOEs. Non-commercial SOEs are basically for providing essential services to the public, like education, we have health and multiple others. But here my focus is mostly on commercial SOEs. So those commercial SOEs, they are providing key contribution of those commercial SOEs we can witness in the form of like infrastructure, energy, transportations, and communication. Like government is responsible for providing those contributions, contributing their services in that particular domain. Like then why SOEs are important? Like whenever we go through any newspapers, any channels, so now SOEs and the losses of SOEs are like emerging topic in our new news media. So why? And the first point is why government should have SOEs. What are the main purpose? Those are for socio-economic development. Those are to access to provide services or resources to the public, and those are those government create those SOEs whenever market fail to deliver certain functions. Whenever private sectors is shy in certain domains, so the government come and counter those failures in order to form a government run businesses. And also they were for public welfare, like education and healthcare, they are totally welfare and economic stability of the countries. So these are the brief overviews of SOEs. But when we look at the financial side, economic side of those SOEs, specifically the top 10 commercial SOEs, they are running with significant losses, specifically in the sector of the transportation, in which we can observe almost transportations is responsible for the 66% losses within those commercial SOEs, and the rest goes towards the energy sector, जिसमें आपके मुख्तलिफ डिस्कोज है. As this study specifically focus on railway, so here is a detailed economic or financial analysis of the railway. That railway is also one of the top loss-making entities within that government sectors, and the government, due to its operational mismanagement or financial mismanagement, it is totally running on the subsidiaries or grants of government. Like government is responsible for meeting those financial needs of the railway. So the key metrics we can observe a significant difference between the total expenses and the gross earning of the railways. That railway failed to accomplish or fulfill its own operational losses. And the challenges that railway encounter is like they don't have a well-equipped infrastructures, they don't have a operational capacity, and they fail to invest due to their financial losses. They fail to invest to upgrade the railway infrastructure. Then what is privatizations? Whenever the term SOEs came in our mind, तो हमें गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से एक ही काउंटर रिप्लाई मिलता है, to privatize those sectors, that privatization is the only solution to fix the problems within that particular sector. So privatization, if you basically define the term privatization, it is like transferring the ownership or managerial control from public to government sectors. So they are like the main purpose is to improve, to introduce efficiency within the sector, to relieve financial burden from the governments, and to attract private investments. Then privatizations, like to reduce, these are the factors due to which government tend to shift toward the privatization. But in the case of in the developing nations, there are other factors as well that play a vital role, because we are more like a donor based economy, so we get guidelines from those states to privatize our SOEs as soon as possible. Then there are multiple attempts that are being done to privatize railway sectors or to improve the efficiency of the railway sectors. Those reforms are initiated in the year 1990, in which the main purpose was to improve the efficiency of public sector. Then in 2000, it was mostly detailed by that guidelines provided by the World Bank, IMF, that structure जिसे हम structural reform कहते हैं, that was again related to privatizations of our SOEs. In the same way, in the year 2010, 2014 and 15, in which railway was a giant life organization. So the basic suggestions of the World Bank or ABC, the Asian Development Bank, was to distribute the railway into multiple sectors or into multiple companies, and each company should need to be independent in their decision making. So the key goals of those privatization attempts were institutional restructuring, enhance operational efficiency, reduce financial losses, and invite private sector to compete against or to have their own to provide services to the public. So those are the components of 1990 reforms, and these reforms are basically जो reforms initiate किए गए हैं, those are inspired by some like from international agencies. जो World Bank ने हमें suggest किए हैं, those are inspired by the some other countries, specifically UK and Japan, in which their railway went through the privatization process. Like they distributed their railway was firstly vertically integrated organizations, in which each organization was responsible for the maintenance of infrastructure, in the maintenance to providing services and multiple others. But what the other countries do, what in the development nation, they follow the pattern in which they distributed the countries in that particular organization into multiple companies. Like they created specific company for infrastructure, for the running of the railways operations, and multiple others. So this way, Pakistan Railway also somehow followed those guidelines and distributed the railway into multiple subsidiaries. Like in the first, we have a freight corporation company, then we have advisory to advise or to, and then we have construction company, and we have a real estate company. So this is how Pakistan Railway was distributed into multiple subsidiaries. Then what the research purpose is, that what are the factors that place of key contributing role in the privatizations of the railway, that what are the factors that determine whether we should privatize any sector or not. And secondly, as I mentioned in my previous slides, there are multiple subsidiaries that are created under the umbrella term of railway. But in this study, I particularly focus on freight, that what is the economic, to measure the economic influence of the freight or on the overall economic performance of the railway. So these are my key research questions. What are the key factors that ultimately led to privatization of railway? Then again, what are the key contributions of freight that is on Pakistan Railways, and the global practices that we can consider to improve the overall railway structure? So the methodology that I use is mixed method research, in which for quantitative analysis, I go for probit analysis. Through probit analysis, we determine which are the key contributors that decide whether we have to privatize certain sector or not. And for DID analysis, in which I take that freight company and measure its influence, that what is policy intervention का क्या मकसद था और इसकी economic performance से, like 2015 में ये company बनी थी. So what difference we can observe after such a policy intervention. And for qualitative, I went for documents analysis, like from case studies, from government drafts, and multiple others. And in semi-structured interviews, I interviewed multiple experts within the field. These are the independent variables against which I measured the probability of privatization. So those are the gross earning of railway, operational expenses of the railway, interest of debt of government as well as of railway, and inflation rate, and the corruption index. Also, I measured this. These are my independent variables, and these variables will help me to analyze whether it is fruitful to privatize railway or not. my key factors, and the findings were due to high operational losses, as we mentioned, as we witnessed in our previous slides, and inflations and within the government, corrupt practices within the organizations. It makes the railway fruitful, or more, it increases the chances of privatization of the railway, or it play a contributing role. So these are the values in which that they show a significant correlation between that railway is due to the operational expenses and the low earning of railway. It makes him one of the more inclined toward the privatizations. Then the next one, we have DID analysis. For DID analysis, the company that was created in 2015, that was mostly created for the transportation of coal. So that particular company was responsible to carry coal from one sector to particular sector. So for that particular stuff, I take treatment. For treatment group, I take coal, transportation of coal through railway. Its economic performance from the year 2000, like 9 or something, and then control group other commodities जो freight की company railways के through तो transport हो रही है, मगर particular company में transport नहीं हो रही. तो observe the difference कि इस railway की जो freight company है and the difference in the economic performance, that how much they are different from each other. So the policy intervention we can witness through this graph, like the parallel trend analysis. For DID, in order to stand out its result, you have to measure the DID analysis. Like before 2015, we can observe that the coal and cements do follow similar trends. But after 2015, जिसमें policy intervention we observe a significant jump in the transportation of coal. So we do observe some positive aspects of that particular intervention, policy intervention. It's do play some positive role within the railway organizations. Yeah, here are the results of other commodities as well. So we like the DID result, there is a significant difference in between. We observe a great turn of increase within the transportation of coal, but besides the freight's economic performance, it's also lagging behind due to multiple, or it's also these challenges are basically related to that freight organizations, that which challenges its face. So as other SOEs or public sectors, it's also prone towards like poor managements. Like I was listening to the webinar of PIDE in which they mentioned that due to the poor management, red tapeism, bureaucratic culture, तो वो open access policy है specifically जो freight, जिसकी वजह से उनको billions का नुकसान हो रहा है रेलवे को, because railway didn't allow the private sector to run their trains on their track, specifically in the case of freight. लेकिन पैसेंजर में हमें फिर भी वो थोड़ा बहुत प्राइवेट सेक्टर की इनोवेशन नज़र आई जाती है. देन लेक ऑफ प्रॉपर holding company. When I go through the Companies Act 2006-17, so I observed that there was a clear-cut guideline. Now railway as a subsidiaries, like this freight is a subsidiary of railway. But when you go through the annual book of railway, you didn't observe that whether railway is a holding company or मतलब इनका रोल क्या है. अगर ये subsidiary है, then what is the role of the railway? Railway should transform himself into the holding company. लेकिन there is no such a clear relationship कि ये railway इसको कैसे own कर रहा है. When I visited to the Ministry of Railway, so they were also confused. One person is saying that that freight company is not sharing their financial reports with us, और दूसरा बंदा वहीं पे कर रहा है कि freight तो हमारी है, like it's हमारी building में हमारा department है, it's not something independent of ourselves. Then board of composition आप देख रहे हैं कि it is independent company, लेकिन जब आप इसका boards को analyze करेंगे, those are the same members of railway. Like railway की members उठा के उन्होंने like they are working as the, or they are taking decision for that company. Then what is the point of making company अगर उसमें वही Ministry of Railway का influence ही है. Then the lake of these companies are not listed on stock market. They are totally owned by government of Pakistan. So there is no transparency practices within that. We can challenge those transparencies. And then those, according to the Companies Act 2017, each and every subsidiary should annually publish their financial reports. But when I went through the railway annual book, कुछ subsidiaries की annual report publish नहीं होती. So we are bit कि ये रेलवेज ये कंपनीज बनाई है, लेकिन इनका मकसद क्या है जब इनकी अपनी कोई इंडिपेंडेंट एग्जिस्टेंस है नहीं. So these are the global lessons which we can take into considerations in order to reform the sector, like the Japan and the China, because इनकी थोड़ी बहुत वो जो रेलवे है, whenever we go through some top 10 railways, so इनकी examples हमारे पास आती है. तो the first thing they did, they demolished like their Ministry of Railway, and इसको एक corporate कॉर्पोरेटाइज कर दिया था, लाइक उसको इंडिपेंडेंट एंटिटी बना दी गई है, लाइक दे आर डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड देयर रेलवे इन मल्टीपल सेक्टर्स एंड ईच सेक्टर इज independent. Then in order to reduce operational losses, like again I will quote the webinar of PIDE, उनमें एक like the ministry का कोई फॉर्मर रिटायर बंदा ही था, उन्होंने कहा कि 105 या कितनी लोग पैसेंजर ट्रेन है जो लॉसेस पे रन कर रही है, लेकिन स्टिल वी आर रनिंग देम बिकॉज ऑफ द पॉलिटिकल रीजन. सो अगर आप पॉलिटिशियन को या गवर्नमेंट को साइड पे रखते हैं तो वी कैन स्टॉप दोस लॉस मेकिंग एंटिटीज. देन वी कैन इम्प्रूव द फ्रेट सर्विसेज. जैसे अभी हमने DID एनालाइज किया है कि freight do have potential to contribute positively in the economic development or of the railway, लेकिन ड्यू टू सर्टेन रीजंस जैसे ओपन एक्सेस पॉलिसी, जिसमें प्राइवेट सेक्टर के लिए पोटेंशियल भी है टू कंट्रीब्यूट और पब्लिक सेक्टर वो डिमांड पूरी नहीं कर रहा, so they can welcome private sector within the field to earn some extra earnings. And और वही then the railway is responsible for other than running the train. रेलवे की अपनी पुलिस है, रेलवे की अपना हेल्थ है, अपनी वेलफेयर सोसाइटी है. तो द रेलवे शुड रन लाइक अ बिजनेस. दे शुड only responsible for their freight and for the passenger trains rather than delivering other non-core services. Yeah, then policy proposals in the end of my research is transform railway into autonomous body in which railway is responsible for its own decisions. It's और here my मतलब मेरा मकसद ये नहीं है कि to privatize it, like it is just आपका एक theory होती है agent hand, like you can cut off the interference of the government and the railway can work as autonomous body. And the grant, it should have a operational autonomy. The government should work on upgrading its infrastructures and then involve the private sector to run the trains and earning from them. And they can also cut cost cutting strategies to reduce the operational losses, in which like I visited to Ministry of Railway. तो उनका वही मकसद वो था, सबसे बड़ा वो जो प्रॉब्लम उनके लिए था उनके पेंशन्स थे. दे cannot fulfill their pensions, they have a huge liabilities, so they have to counter that as well. And they should list, और इन कंपनीज को है उनको autonomous status देना चाहिए, उन्हें उनके उनके रोल्स को आइडेंटिफाई करना चाहिए कि व्हाट वाज द पर्पस ऑफ क्रिएटिंग दोस कंपनीज. दो शुड द कंपनी शुड नीड टू बी इंडिपेंडेंट इन देयर डिसीजंस. एंड उनको स्टॉक एक्सचेंज में जब आप लिस्ट करेंगे तो पब्लिक का ट्रस्ट उन पे उठता है, दोस इंक्रीजेस. So this is all from my side. Thank you.